Hello and welcome to this week's News Roundup. I'm Joshua James Parfitt, Costa Blanca reporter for the Olive Press, the most read online source of English language news in Spain. Well, as always, we've had the weird and the wacky this week, with a Christmas procession fined for parading through a bus lane without prior permission in Sevilla. Former X Factor star Danny Tetley has also today pled guilty to sexual crimes involving teenage boys as young as 14. The singer has been back and forth between the UK and Benidorm before the Olive Press tracked him down in cooperation with the UK press to reveal news of the shocking allegations brought against him earlier this year. But the biggest story on everyone's minds today is, of course, the UK general election, and what does it mean for expats residing here in Spain. The landslide win for the Conservative Party saw them win their biggest majority since Margaret Thatcher's election victory in 1987. It also earned widespread condemnation from campaign groups here in Spain. The mood amongst British expats has been strongly pro-European, backing Remain in an online poll earlier this year. Sue Wilson, the chair of the Bremain in Spain campaign group, called the shock election a mass suicide as she lambasted what she called xenophobia, lies and dirty tricks in the Conservative election campaign this year. British in Europe, the largest campaign group for British citizens in the EU 27 member states, also showed disdain for the Tory victory. Likewise, the chairman of Brexpats in Spain, Anne Hernandez, told the Olive Press that expats she had spoken to were actively seeking to tactically vote against Conservative MPs in their respective constituencies. She said, "Our future in the EU hinges upon this election, as Boris Johnson will now seek to finalise the withdrawal deal before the January 31st deadline in 2020. The second referendum promised by Labour and the revoking of Article 50 promised by the Liberal Democrats are firmly off the table. Of particular concern, therefore, now to expats is the lack of certainty on vital issues such as our healthcare, pensions, and the rights of our family to reside here in the event of UK leaving the EU." Hernandez said that many were even verging upon suicidal, in particular those who are battling health issues here in Spain. The Olive Press previously reported on Basil Munilal, a 90-year-old British expat and cancer survivor who was told he could face healthcare costs up to €1,000 per month in the event that reciprocal healthcare is curtailed in future agreements between Britain and the EU. "If I don't get free healthcare, I don't see the doctor," he told the Olive Press earlier this year. Bad news was also how Juan Marín, the regional tourism minister for Spain's Andalusia region, described Boris Johnson's victory last night. He believed Johnson would indeed apply for a hard Brexit, which would hit the region's agricultural industries to the tune of €1.1 billion in exports to the UK market. The tourism industry is also at risk, as we don't yet know what rules will govern British tourists seeking to take a holiday in Spain in the future. On a bright note, however, today the exchange rate for the pound is up and standing at €1.2 to £1 sterling, a 3.5-year high. But though Brexit be done, perhaps before 2020 and perhaps before Christmas Day as promised by the Prime Minister, the suffering of British expats in Spain could continue for a long, extended time into the future. Retirees and those living and working here, our situation still hangs in the balance as negotiations are yet to be agreed and signed upon. Are you worried about your situation here? Please put your comments below this video as we come to terms with what has been called the most important election in a generation. Thank you very much. This was Joshua James Parfitt for the Olive Press in Spain. Enjoy your weekend, and we hope to hear more from your comments in future.